Well, we don't have to make it real. Frank, now just look this way, will you? Perfect, thanks.
Sure. I got to get the grilling technique down here.
Yeah, pay attention.
I need the grilling technique. Oh, that's very nice. Tim's like, yeah, that's mine.
The wind blowing. Kentucky wind is, Chad. You gotta be careful.
Kentucky wind.
Oh,
So what do we have here?
The brats
The brats?
are getting a little dark, but they're okay.
They look good.
You want some of those?
I didn't want it, yeah.
How's the? What are you having, Granville? Are you having a brat?
Extract the brat.
Good. Excellent.
Very good.
Wonderful.
Craig, you have another chicken breast?
Not yet. I haven't finished my first one. I just knew I had to get some filming in before.
Later tonight we'll have some more probably.
There's an area that I do, you know, there's some birds, there's a little bit of class for them. Yeah, you appreciate it. Real interesting. And, you know, the thing is that you can never solve it. I mean, you can only optimize it, you know. You never, there's never a solution to it without something.
So how's everything, everybody?
Good.
Just what you want to have filmed. Eating.
Hey, baby. Eating good.
Good hamburger, Tim? Excellent. Better than Fuddruckers. Holy cow.
What sorority are you in?
We have your eating technique now on film. I'm sure everybody's going to appreciate that.
Oh, did you? What was it?
Well, that's nice. That's on film.
Recorded for posterity. You know, it was a very good one.
Watch it, Peter.
That was very scary.
It's an excellent sorority, even at our school. Everybody, oh yeah. The one that I was in for a very short time was called All God's Dog. It was Alpha, Gamma, Delta. So, I mean, they were just terrible names. We were,
We'll take the popcorn.
Can I get you something? Do you want some drink? Do you want some more coffee?
no, thank you.
My coat on, my dear. Very glad.
I'm glad you believe me. Did you bring a coat with you? Heads up, you guys.
I've already got Leslie saying some pretty incriminating things.
Complaining about my husband again.
No, you're talking about that one sorority.
I hope not.
Oh, our sorority that got disbanded? The one I was in?
Was that were you in ZTAs?
Oh no, that was Lori's, the tits and armpits.
That's what you were saying. I have that on film. No, I got it twice.
You're filming that? But you were pointed the other way.
Well, the microphone's right in front. You might not have your lips moving, but I have the audio portion.
Great, Craig. What do you think about this modern technology?
I know.
You just never know.
I sound like such a whiner.
So wait, Lori's in a sorority, and you told her that her sorority is
Tits and armpits.
okay, just to build up her confidence level
That's
there.
right. I know. Well, we were all
Keep her
God's
talking,
dogs.
Craig. Keep her talking.
And then, there, you know, there were lots. Lori's mom was in Ki-O, it's off to bed we go. So, you know, it's like.
Oh.
In fact, Craig.
What's outside?
Oh my God.
Katie, look at the gorilla.
Look at
What is that?
Look at
Mom, it's okay. He's not gonna hurt you. He's not gonna hurt you.
Look at Katie. He walks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
What's he doing?
He's like, I'm not an animal, I'm a human being.
He knows it's only under crank, but he sure didn't get close.
What was that?
He's green.
That's great. Where's Uncle Frank? He missed him.
That's right.
What, 4.5 months? Yeah. Between 5 and 6 they get their first one.
Excuse me. Are you filming your own child?
I'm filming the Swedish bikini team.
Oh, okay. Here we are.
I don't like it either, Les.
I'm glad. Thank you.
I agree. I think it's pretty particular.
I'm glad to hear that. Paul and I will switch. He'll either bathe the babies and I'll clean the kitchen after dinner, or vice versa. And so it works out quite nicely. Although we have a dishwasher, you know, there's certain things that either don't fit or you just don't want to do. Yeah, like kids, right? Yeah, that's right. They don't fit the dishwasher. So you have to do that in the bathroom.
Ours is a little different because remember, Cindy will teach aerobics.
Oh, well, you guys
We'll
have
get
a
home
very
at
busy
like,
evening. Granville?
we get home at 8:30.
Cindy would like to see your other side.
Hey, hold the dish up for us. There you go.
I'm sure I haven't got my opinion on.
Love it.
And how are those hands? Are they nice and soft?
Well, you'll have to have a feel of my hands.
Jam a fork.
Let's see. Okay.
Happy about that.
Nice and soft. No dishpan hands.
Works for
And
me.
who's the dryer over there?
He's the harasser.
The harasser.
Boy, that's a word that Cindy knows, isn't it?
Yeah,
So they're busy getting their house built. They're gonna push these things out by Thanksgiving, I think. Leslie, Susie, Craig, and then me.
And then we don't know.
Christy, how many kids do you have? How many are we gonna have?
Christy,
Oh, I don't know.
is that the rules then?
Yeah,
Can I put her in?
of course. Sure. I don't know. Right now, she's reflecting.
Hey, Chad.
I don't know. Maybe.
Would you like to say a few words for the camera?
Hey, I got a little hospital.
They're bringing the stuff in. Bruce?
He's got a striped shotgun, is that what you said?
Lovely.
I had a heart attack. Where'd you put the beer? Okay.
Hey, Pam. So Pam, tell us a little bit about yourself. How old are you today?
Very. I just had a birthday this week.
Yeah.
So I'm older than I was last
When was your birthday?
Wednesday.
So,
I'm older than I was the Wednesday before.
Wait, when did
I have my 20-year high school reunion tonight that I'm going to. And my family reunion that I'm at.
that's great.
I have my nephew. You know,
And you are Reg's son, Reg's daughter,
yes I am.
on the Ibbotson side.
My name is still Ibbotson.
What?
My name is still Ibbotson.
That's super. Thank you. So there's Mike and Brandon. So Mike, tell us how you're related to this whole thing here.
I'm married to Christy.
There you go. And Brandon, your mom and dad. Brandon, your mom and dad are Tim and what's your mom? There you go. And how old are you, Brandon? How old are you? 6, all right. 6 and a half, that's right. We don't want to forget that half.
It did happen there.
Thanks, Brandon. Hi, Betty. And Betty, you are Jan's mom and came from Michigan today. And where is that in Michigan?
Right about there.
Okay, great. That's good. And how long did it take you guys? Did you guys fly here?
We flew from Detroit City Airport.
Okay, fantastic. To Midway.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And here's Ruth Linskog. Ruth's been with our family for many years. Ruth, how did you first come in to know the Ibbotsons?
How did I get to know?
Yeah, how did you first know them?
I was a bride and lived in an apartment. And I went home and rented in Augusta. Moved next door.
And that's
And had Windsor and Reggie. And
Resurrendering plans.
we were friends for 50 years.
really fantastic. So you first met them when you moved next door to each other.
I moved in first, and then they moved. I got married in September, and they moved in October.
Yeah, those are
And moved it right next door to us. And we've been friends ever since.
Oh, fantastic. Holy cow. So that is true tradition there. Thank you.
And my restaurant record.
Okay, Chad. This is the continuing series of interviews.
Interviews, huh?
Hold on. I'm getting some bad lighting here. I'm gonna have to go over here. And I'm also...
Shall I go with you? Or?
No, you can go by. You can actually go closer to Laura. That would be super. That's fine, right where you are, right there.
Okay.
Okay, Chad. Well, you're not afraid to tell us how old you are now, right?
I am 24 years of age now.
24 years of age.
I'm getting gray.
Getting gray. Get out of here. No way.
Moving much slower than I have in the past.
So now you're living in Florida.
Still moving forward. Haven't gotten to the stage where I'm starting to step back yet. Things are continuing. Little sister is here with me. She's not as little as she used to be.
This is for sure. And you guys are both still living in Florida.
We're still in Florida. Having a good time. Going to school. I'm not really going to school, working too. Doing all the good things we do. Having fun.
Laurie, where are you going to school? And you're going to finish in 6 months?
Don't quote her on that.
Okay, well, probably after spring. There you go.
That's the way it was.
And you said your mom's doing really well? Fantastic. Sounds great.
Your parents should be doing well. Last time I saw them.
All right.
It's been a few days.
Well, I know this is hard, but thanks, you guys.
Alongside.
It sounded like
And
ours.
so then I'd go over to the baby food section.
Okay.
And I'd buy the junior food, lamb stew or beef stew or something. Buy 4 or 5 jars of that and come home and mix it in with the hamburger, and we'd have supper.
Oh, I never thought of that.
That's pretty practical.
Well, we had to because our coupons were very slim. You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can only have meat about 3-4 times
Yeah.
a week.
Not that.
And not much at each time. Yeah, but that's all they... Well, I'm talking about that includes sausage, chicken, bacon, that's all kinds.
Spam.
All kinds of... All kinds of things. All
But
kinds.
when I saw that the coupons were running low, well, that's what I did. I'd go and buy baby food, junior baby food. It was good.
Mix it up with
It's pretty chunky.
Put a little flavor in it.
Call the hamburger helper now.
Yeah, that's for sure. But we had to do something to stretch the menu.
The food dollar.
Now, Ibbotson, Whitaker, on your behalf here. And so it's kind of a, yes, we did. So there you are.
Well, thank you too.
Sure, go ahead.
We certainly appreciate your coming here. We know it was a... I got to tell you a story about MP coming off the airplane.
I'm sorry.
We were waiting for MP to come off the airplane, and the whole plane came off empty. Then the pilots came off, and the stewardess came off. And I said to the woman, I said, I think you forgot MP. Where is she? She said, well, she's on. Mrs. Brown is still on the plane, I think. And the guy's sitting there with a wheelchair. She said, I'll go look. So she checked, went up there, and finally, I mean, everybody's off the plane. Here comes the wheelchair, E&P, coming down there. And the guy's got a big smile on his face. I said, hey, they told me, you know, they weren't going to let you off the plane. She had the seat held so tight from a white knuckle flight, you couldn't get her out of the seat.
What did I tell him? First thing, find the closest toilet. I'm desperate.
Yeah, we did.
I couldn't go to the toilet on the plane, and I was down. Believe you and me.
And Abby, why didn't you go to the toilet on the plane?
Because it was too low down, I couldn't sit on it.
You got down, but you couldn't get up.
Right, I could get down on it, but I couldn't get up. There was nothing to hold on to.
Well, we're going to have some cake.
So I had to hold on.
This is raspberry-filled cake.
That's quite a cake.
There you go, beautiful picture.
The gorillas on my way.
You shouldn't take the Whitaker out, not the Ibbotson.
So you want us to cut it in half?
There's a few Ibbotsons here who would like to see it represented.
Yeah, but we'll count you number 2.
Okay, thank you.
Can you find it, Rick?
Well, then it should be
I
the
thought
Whitaker.
I did, but the flash didn't go.
Right.
Well, Master Frank said it's not working.
There's not many of us left.
Yeah,
No, I know.
No,
Maybe the batteries are gone.
probably the battery's dead, dear.
When you guys...
I don't know how to
Campy?
switch the.
Frank, do you know? Will you look over here?
Okay, Abby.
Because this is a very, very special occasion, it'll probably never happen again as long as we live. There are several Ibbotsons in this room,
First and last annual.
and one Whitaker that has a birthday in October.
Who's that?
Number 1 on the 4th of October, right?
Wow.
And farther over there is the last one in October.
39 on
Right, yeah. And who's the other?
Ageless.
Pam.
And that's right, that's another one in October.
And we have an
And
anniversary
this
next
gentleman, his birthday this month. And he's never been with any family at any time, have you? You know, over here.
No.
He's been with his family in England, so let's all sing happy birthday to one another.
All the good guys were born in October.
That's right. All the good guys.
Happy birthday, everybody! Happy birthday to you! The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be. The old gray mare, he ain't what he used to be many long years ago. Many long years ago. Many long years ago, the old gray mare, he ain't what he used to be many years ago. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip.
Remember when I came over here, because Thursday, 2 days back, it was 65 years since I arrived in Chicago.
Is that true?
That's true.
65.
I left England on the 1st of October in 1926, and I arrived in Chicago.
I always tell the same
10th
thing,
of
that's the
October
Richard.
in 1926.
Oh, wow.
10 days to get here. And on the same day that my anniversary was, he comes from England, 8 hours drive. That's how the life has changed.
Since that time.
And I was born on the 22nd of June in 1907. So I'm 80 years.
Now, is there truth to the story? Do you have to go to Canada before you came into the States, or was that Grandma?
I have to go. I just, we were permitted to come to the States. We had all our papers that allowed us to come to the States before we left England. We had been through all our primary tests. We had been examined by American doctors. And we had been on a waiting list for 2 years to get there. We're on a quota. And we've been on a waiting list for 2 years before we got here. But all our preliminary work, which used to be done in Ellis Island,
Okay.
that was all done in England. And I came from Liverpool on a Cunard liner small size boat.
Is that right? Just leave it there.
I don't really know why we came way up the St. Lawrence River instead of going to New York, except perhaps it could be that it wasn't as busy going that way as what it would have been going into New York City. And there was no reason to put us off at Ellis Island. So came to Quebec, and from Quebec went by train to Montreal, and I was supposed to get on the train in Montreal exchange station that would bring me direct to Chicago. Well, somewhere when we were getting close to Detroit, before we passed over the Canadian border, there was a problem with the train. I don't remember what the problem was. But we got switched from that train to what was, in those days, a very high-class American train. And we came from Detroit to Chicago, non-stop. Like 900 miles a day. A very, very beautiful train. I'd never seen anything like it. Because of whatever it was that happened to the train on the Canadian side of the border, we were delayed coming in. So when I was supposed to be in Chicago by 9 o'clock on Sunday night, it was midnight before I got there. And by that time, the relatives are pacing up and down the line, you know, where am I? But I finally got there. And the rest is history.
Now you live in Aptos, California.
California. And I've made so many trips.
How you doing, buddy?
Chicago and California that I've lost count. And I often wonder, do you ever remember going on the plane?
You're pretty important.
Hold on to that, don't lose it. That's $1 million.
Thank you, sir.
What did they yank for this, Frank, tonight?
It's 37 o'clock.
Do you remember going on the plane at O'Hare with me first time in your life?
Is that where we got to go up in the cockpit and got the? Yeah, they gave us something. I can't remember what they gave us, but they.
I'm not sure whether it was wings or what it was.
Right.
That was the first time you ever went on the plane.
Yeah.
And I was on my way back to California.
Oh, was that the reason we went on?
You were seeing me off again.
Well, you're right. You came up yesterday.
I made so many trips back
in my pocket or you're going to lose them laying around.
I've done it by train and I've done it by driving and I've done it by flying. I am walked.
48. Now you're a Whitaker, and tell us a little bit about the Whitaker family that you're from. You're one of 3, right? Or how many children in your family?
Oh, there were 5 of us.
5, okay.
But I mean, the odds are not
You just picked a lucky trade. 13 is a lucky number. 7 is a lucky number.
Your grandmother was my eldest sister.
Somebody's got to win. Regardless of the odds, some numbers will win.
Well, I'm in a pool at work, and normally I wouldn't have done it at all, but then I thought, I said, well, you know, if these guys do win, I won't be able to come back to work. You know, so if they do win it and I'm not in on it, I won't be able to come back to work. So I figured I better just put in the money just to be on the safe side.
The other 2 was my brother George and my brother Stanley. My brother George came to live in America in 1951 when I went home. And he came back and he came back to live with me in California. My brother Stanley never made it to America.
Yeah.
He was
damn near lynched.
I remember that visit.
Very alive, very, when, you know, people, he came back with
so he was the youngest of the Whitakers.
No.
Yeah, I give him my 5.
Too long to tell you all about my history, my ups, my downs. But I'm very interested. I'm glad I had the
Well, you know, the thing though is, except the thing though is, if he had gone and bought tickets, he would have gotten it, you know? If he just like used ticket stubs from the last one, you know, he wouldn't have gotten the same number.
The dearest and oldest friends that we have
I mean, the whole thing was really
in the city.
bizarre.
You know,
She goes back to 1935.
well, we had, I mean, in Pennsylvania when we were there, they had a lottery that was over $100 million.
Really the best.
And and
Thank you.
some group won it, and
Well, thank
it was
you.
like of like 40
We'll have
people
to. I'd like to.
and one
Sometime we
guy
can
in the
do this in more detail.
Oh, yeah.
did not go into
But-
the
That one,
hole.
not so many
And it's
people.
like,
Right. Exactly. Well, thank
I'm
you.
not gonna be able to go back to work.
Take what money you got left
And
to
I
get your brains.
I have quite a bit. In fact, I brought a piece of paper with me that I was
What do you
going
got, Les?
to give to
Coca-Cola?
Reg to turn over
Coca-Cola?
to his daughter here with some information about your Ibbotsons that live up in Minnesota. Oh, not Minnesota. Either North or South Dakota. Because I suppose you don't even know where you've got cousins. Oh, yes, you've got relatives up there too.
Didn't know that.
Oh, yes, and they're very, very advanced Ibbotsons, my dear. They've been to China and Japan and taught in Japan. And I brought some history with me. So I can tell you more about that when there's not so many.
Okay. Wonderful.
Because that was the children of your grandfather's oldest, next to the oldest sister. They lived, I believe he is an American. He's in the church service. But they've lived in China, they've worked in Japan, and they've taught in China. And you have loads of Ibbotson cousins over in Australia that you don't know. Almost many countries that you could go in, and you could go looking up an Ibbotson and say, I understand you're a cousin of mine.
I'd love to go to Australia someday. I have friends in Australia, so wonderful.
Tell you quite a bit about that. In fact, I still write to their mother, the ones that live in Australia. I still write to their mother. And it will be her birthday on, I believe it's 4th of November, because I bought the birthday card to mail while I'm here in Chicago. And she's going to be, I think she's going to be 89. And it was their son that went out to live in Australia. And it was their granddaughter that drowned in the Thames River the same day that the grandma died.
And her name was Julie. Julie. I remember reading about that.
She was the granddaughter.
Yeah.
She was the granddaughter of this one Ibbotson that's left alive in England. And the Ibbotson that's left alive in England is also related to us through our own side of the family. So we have a double relationship with them. But I did bring this piece of paper with me. It's in my purse.
Okay.
So before I leave, I'll see that.
How old was that Julie Ibbotson?
Julie, when she died, she was around 23, 24, somewhere in that age. She was on, she and her boyfriend, she was a model. She had modeled all over the world. She was a very good model. And she was on...
Really put on your glasses.
She went on, they were going to have a party on this boat on the Thames River. It was on Saturday night. And it was a party for models, the modeling school.
Caitlin was going to be a model.
And the boat got rammed and it sank.
Right?
They found her and her boyfriend.
Pat's a model?
They found them in each other.
Katie was going to be a model.
And they were buried.
But we couldn't
They were
afford all
living
those
together.
pictures.
They weren't married, but they were planning to get married. They were just as modern there, my dear, as what they had over here. So, I have loads and loads of stuff I can tell you about. The Ibbotsons and the Whitakers.
Hi, good day there.
This is Granville Whitaker, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And I'm here today because I was hoping to celebrate this wonderful reunion that the Whitaker and Ibbotson family have managed to organise. And as part of the Whitaker family in the UK, I came to represent what's left of the Whitaker family, which is really myself and my mother. I was born in 1947 in England, but not of original Whitaker stock. I was actually an adopted child by my mother and father, who have lived in England all their life, as opposed to the rest of the family, which moved to the United States over a period of from 1925 to 1950. So what was left in England was basically myself and my parents. I've been brought up in England and graduated at Bradford University and then progressed onwards into industry. I now work for an American company called Cabot Corporation based in Boston, which means that I often take trips over here to the headquarters, and it coincided today with a trip that I have to make to Boston next week, so it was very fortunate that I could make this trip this weekend to enjoy this marvellous reunion.
Fantastic. Now you are the son of Connie and Stanley Whitaker.
Adopted son, that's right.
Okay. And Stanley is the brother.
He's the brother of Winston and Reg and Frank. Sorry, he's the
cousin.
His cousin.
He's the uncle. Yeah.
He's the uncle. That's right. So he's the brother of Aunt B, and that would be Uncle Norman, brother.
Yes, I remember Norman.
And
of course, Grandma. And was there one?
Right.
So there was the 5 of them.
And there was somebody else. There was. I can never remember his name. There's another uncle that left England in 1950. George, that was right. It was George. So there was actually 5 of them altogether. 4 of them came over here, and my father, Stanley, was the only one that remained back in England. So he wanted to come over here in, I think it was 1955, that they were invited to come over to the States, but for personal reasons, my mother wanted to look after her own mother and father, so they decided not to make the trip. And, otherwise, I would have probably been brought up in America like everybody else.
Now they first visited the States in 1980, right?
That's the only time they've been.
Okay.
I think it was 19. No, it was probably a bit earlier than that, wasn't it?
70s then? Or?
78, 79. I can't remember exactly, but it was about that time. My father passed away in 1986. So he was fortunate, I think, to have made the trip that she wanted to make here all those years. I think he always had a feeling that he wanted to come to America, and when he retired, he took that opportunity, which was very fortunate, because he obviously didn't live an awful lot longer after that.
And how is your mother doing now? How's Connie doing?
She's fine. She's obviously had to adjust being a widow, which she managed to do very well. She didn't have any other family apart from myself, who lives quite a long way away from her, so she's had to find her own way of life on her own without any really continuous support from anybody else, but she seems to have made out all right.
Fantastic. And where do you live in England?
Pretty good, weren't they?
Well, I live in Cheshire.
Paul, is this
which
it here? Is this Aaron's?
Not too far from Manchester, about 15 miles from Manchester, in the south of Manchester.
What do you got,
in a very nice rural area.
Katie's is down here.
Called Macclesfield.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Grandma.
That's a pleasure. I hope that comes out okay.
I think. Well, here we are with Leslie Flattery and her beautiful daughter, Caitlin. And Leslie's going to tell us a little bit about her life as an Ibbotson. Leslie, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you first come into this world?
Well, I was born in the year 1960 on May 27th in Park Ridge, Illinois at Lutheran General Hospital. And I'm the daughter of Winston Ibbotson. And that's how I came to be part of the Ibbotson family. Winston is the eldest of 3 sons, so I feel that my place in the Ibbotson family is slightly higher than the rest of my cousins.
What a bunch of malarkey.
So you went through school in Illinois.
That's correct. I went through grade school and high school in Illinois, and then I attended Indiana University.
Okay.
And while in Indiana, I joined the ROTC program and fell in love with the Army through exposure to the outdoors. And
did you ever see your cousins while you were in India?
yes, as a matter of fact, my cousin Craig came to visit me while in college at Indiana University. And we had a weekend to beat all weekends, which has become a family disgrace, and which I will not mention anymore. Except to say that Craig, my sister Sue, and I had a great time.
Don't forget who edits these.
Yeah, right.
But he worked out all right, didn't he?
Right.
That's right. That's right. We had a great time. And after college, I went into the Army as an officer in the United States Army. I had the opportunity to live overseas in Korea and in various states of this union. And between postings, I managed to visit the Ibbotson family, coming back to Illinois. And then I rekindled a romance, or began a romance with my old friend Paul Flattery, moved up to Washington State, and lived in sin for a year and a half until we got married. And at which time we left beautiful Washington State and moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I put Paul through school for 2 years. And after he managed to graduate with my financial support, we moved back to Illinois, where I am raising his 2 beautiful children. With no help from him whatsoever.
No, Jay.
Fantastic.
I've done it all on my own.
Fantastic. Well, you truly are an extraordinary Ibbotson.
Oh, I've done everything in the Ibbotson way.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Les.
It's my pleasure. Can I tell you anything else?
Nope, that's it. Come to Frankie. Here's Paul Flattery, Leslie's husband, the one, the accused.
Right. Well, Leslie has, while it's true that Leslie did pay for some of the bills while we were in school in Philadelphia, she has more than made up for that in the 2 years since we've been back in Illinois, and I think everything has been repaid in full.
Peachy clean.
When she was kid.
That is a blessing. That is a blessing, dear. What are you talking about? That is not a penalty or a cost. It is a blessing to be able to raise these children.
So, Paul, what do you think of the Ibbotson family?
Well, I have to admit that the Ibbotson family is a lot of fun. Anytime that we do get together, we always have a good time. It's always a chance as to whether we are going to get together or not, though, because you just never know when anybody's going to make it or how things are going to work out. But today everybody did make it, and I think we all had a really good time.
All right, thanks.
There, Kate, you want some candy back?
And here's Leslie's father. This is Win Ibbotson.
Hi, everyone. It's true. My name is Winston. I did come over here in 1926 from Yorkshire, England. I came with Grandma and Grandpa Ibbotson, and we settled in Chicago. I went to grade school, I went to high school, went to several years in college, Northwestern, and then spent some time in the Army Air Corps during World War II. I met Leslie and Susie's mother in 1956, and were married in 1958. And Leslie was born in 1960. Susan was born in 1962.
And their ages will be forever known.
I spent 35 years, 9 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days in the Yellow Page business.
There you go.
But who counted? And later on, as I was preparing to retire, I spent some time in Guntersville, Alabama, where I met my present wife, Mary Eleanor, who I had met in 1949 down in Guntersville, Alabama. So I am now retired in Guntersville, play golf several times a week, active in the Chamber of Commerce and similar activities like that, plus the Rotary Club.
Now,
I now have 3 beautiful grandchildren, and enjoy them at every opportunity.
Fantastic. Now, what year were you born in, or at least where in England were you born in?
Born in Yorkshire, England in 1924.
Fantastic.
And came to the United States when I was a year and a half old with my mother and dad.
And if there was anything, one thing in your life that you would say was like really memorable, what would it be? Is there anything?
The first glimpse of Leslie and the first glimpse of Susie were probably one of the most memorable moments. And besides the opportunity to leave the Army after 3 years service and having spent some miserable times there.
Okay, now since Susie can't be here today, maybe you can just tell us a little bit about Susie and her life and what she's done with her life.
Well, Susie was born also in Park Ridge, Illinois.
Hello.
In 1962. Went to school here in Northbrook and graduated from Indiana University. Became a teacher in the Dallas, Texas school system, where she met her husband, Steve Schultz. Steve is a radiologist, and they are now settled in Fort Worth, Texas, and have a beautiful son, Danny. They're about to move into their first home, and they anticipate this move to be in the first week of December.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Win.
Thank you, Craig, very much for this to be a part of the Chronicle of the Ibbotson.
Okay, this is Frank Ibbotson, the third of the 3 brothers that you've met today. Frank, tell us a little bit about yourself from your young days.
Well, I was born in Chicago. Chip. I mean, you're interfering.
That's okay.
I was born on January 26, 1941 at Illinois Masonic Hospital in Chicago. And the third brother, you're right, and grew up in Chicago, went to Schurz High School, played football at Schurz High School, ended up going to the University of Wisconsin, graduated from the University of Wisconsin in 1963, and had 2 children, Chad and Lori. Chad was born in 1967, September 22nd, and Lori was born October 4th of 1969.
Well, good chance in here now, too. Here's Lori Ibbotson again. Lori, you told us before that you're going to be graduating from college next semester. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what you plan on doing with your career, what your career path's going to be, and where you're going to be going, and if you'd like to live in Florida or where you want to live and things like that.
I definitely want to stay in Florida. No, I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't mind. I want to travel. Definitely want to travel because right now I'm single, so I don't have to worry about anything. No prospects for future marriage anytime soon or anything like that. So, I'm going to work at the Sheraton Hotel at Disney World. It's called Disney Dolphin. So you can all come stay there for free. Maybe. Depends on how big I am there. I don't know. I have to do an internship first. I want to make $120 a week, so that'll be tight. But I'll live with my mom for a little while and save up some money, and then I'll get a salary after that, after about 3 months or so. And I was thinking about being a flight attendant, but after the flight, like yesterday, I don't know.
Is it pretty rough?
Yeah, and I was like, my ears were killing. I was like, I don't want to do this, so that was kind of scratched. I was going to go with Delta, try and live in Atlanta, maybe Chicago, live with Dad for a little while.
Great.
Save up some money. If I was a flight attendant.
So you hope to pursue your career in group
recreation. Yes, that's what I'll be doing. And
possibly one day married in a family?
oh yes, definitely. I love children. I love your child. Adorable. I wish I were here so I could babysit for you guys.
We do too.
I would love it, I would.
Well, gee, Laura, we thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Chad.
Oh.
Here's Chad once again. Chad's back to revisit us. Chad, we didn't get really to ask any
I'm back.
in-depth and personal questions last time.
Realizing we didn't ask any personal questions.
We told us, you were telling a little bit before what you're doing now. You're working for a dental firm, or a firm that has dental, offers dental care.
I'm selling corporate dental insurance of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
He was selling
More or
out
less.
Luca.
And I also am pursuing a career in insurance, as well as merely trying to be wealthy. That's obviously the
Entrepreneur.
first. Doing whatever I have to do, inventing something. But I do want to live a good life.
Sounds like
As everyone else is, and I'm not at the present time. But I'm working toward it. Education, it's never been in my ball game. I don't know if it ever will be, but I'm still pursuing it and slowly conquering it. Golf, is something that I've enjoyed throughout the past, and I will hopefully continue to enjoy. Perhaps one day I'll be on the senior tour, but if I'm not wealthy enough to get to that point, I probably won't be there. And come on, give me some
well, it
questions.
sounds like one thing that was really important to you is your friends right now.
Friends are very important. I think my friends and I do a lot together, and unfortunately they're all starting to get married, and I'm getting worried maybe I'll be the only one left. But
Everyone has that worry, I think.
everybody, that happens. It comes and it goes. I'm sure someone will come along and sweep me off my feet. But until then, continue doing what I do best, enjoying myself, not worrying about those around me as much as I probably should.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I hope I do that as well.
Okay, here we are.
Oh, am I on?
Here's Jan, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her family.
Well, we've got Mom and Dad Bulow here, Betty and Jim, and they came here from Marysville, Michigan, which is my hometown. And what else do you want to know?
I don't know, you can tell me anything about how long have you lived
What do
in
you
that
want?
area? How long have you lived there?
You tell 'em.
You gotta stay up here, buddy.
Interviewed me before. He's browsing. Oh, you did? Oh.
But I didn't get anybody else. I interviewed your mom before, and that was the only
Okay. All right, well, this is my dad, and he doesn't want to say anything.
one. Okay.
And then this is my little brother, believe this or not.
Big brother, a little bit younger though.
Right, my brother Tim, and his youngest little boy, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Andrew, can you say hi? Yeah, he loves to say hi. He's 2 going on 3. And this little pipsqueak down here is my oldest nephew. He's 6.
That's Brandon, right?
That's Brandon. He goes to 1st grade full time now.
Okay, great.
And where's Rosanna Dana?
She's downstairs.
I'll go downstairs and surprise her.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you. Look at Andrew again.
Buddy, huh?
Andrew with Grant.
Papa's buddy?
Yeah.
Here's Tim and his wife, Roseanne.
And they live in Marysville, my hometown also.
In Michigan,
Oh yeah, that's right.
right? People don't realize that.
What am I supposed to tell you? And Roseanne, my brother's wife, my sister-in-law, and the mom of these 2 darling little boys.
Andrew and Brandon.
That's right.
I'm finally getting this right here.
I think you got
Fantastic.
it. And these guys all came to visit us today because they haven't met any of the Ibbotsons, and none of the Ibbotsons have met them. So we thought as long as the Ibbotsons and Whitakers were going to get together, we'd have the Bulows join us so everybody could meet everybody.
Fantastic. So what do you think of the Ibbotsons, Bulos?
It's a great family.
We paid them.
What are we supposed to say?
Yeah, some other time.
Okay, there we go. I think we got it on there, though. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.